Let's talk about renting versus buying in 2026. This is the real estate version of Is a Hot Dog a Sandwich? Everyone has an opinion. Everyone gets emotional. And somehow your cousin who bought a house in 1997 thinks the answer is always buy immediately. But here's the truth. Renting is not throwing away money, and buying is not automatically building wealth. The only thing that matters is whether buying fits your timeline and your life without turning you into the person who owns a house but can't afford groceries and lives on ramen. Welcome to the channel. I'm Chad Hoerner with Haven Real Estate, and I help bring clarity and peace to your real estate journey. If that sounds like what you need, hit subscribe. All right, today I'm going to give you a simple, practical framework you can use. So by the end of this video, you should know whether renting or buying makes sense for you in 2026. And here's the thing, there's no shame either way. It's just math, common sense, and always a tiny bit of sarcasm. So first, let's kill the biggest myth. Renting is throwing money away. Nope, rent is the most you'll pay each month. A mortgage is the least you'll pay each month. Rent comes with a predictable payment and a landlord that you can text if the water heater dies. Owning comes with the joy of hearing a sound in the house and immediately thinking, that's gonna cost about $4,000. So if renting gives you stability while you build savings, fix credit, or figure out where you actually wanna live, that's not throwing money away. That's buying peace. Now here's the only math that matters, your timeline. How long are you realistically going to stay in the home? Not the dream version of you, the real version. Because buying has big upfront costs like closing costs, lender fees, title fees, moving costs, and then when you sell later, you've got selling costs and commissions. If you buy and move too soon, you can lose money even if the market goes up. Here's the rule of thumb I use with clients. Under 2 years, renting usually wins. 3 to 5 years, buying often starts to really make sense. 5+ years, buying tends to win more often because time smooths out the costs. Let's cover some practical steps to follow. Step 1, pick your comfort payment. This is where people mess up because they start with, what's the max I can afford? That is the wrong question. Banks will approve you for chaos. Max approval is not a budget, it's a dare. Your question should be this. What monthly payments let me still live my life? Meaning you can still save, still breathe, and still go to dinner without doing math in the parking lot. Pick that number first, then build around it. Step 2, compare rent versus buy using the real monthly cost. Ownership isn't just the mortgage. It's the principal and interest, the taxes, plus insurance, plus an HOA if you've got one. And then add a maintenance buffer. A simple rule is to plan about 1% of the home's value per year for maintenance on average. Not because you'll spend it every year, but because eventually the house will humble you, I promise. A new roof, HVAC, water heater, plumbing, or appliances. Home ownership is like a subscription service you didn't know you signed up for. If owning costs a little more than renting, that can still be worth it if you're staying long enough to build equity. If owning costs way more and kills your savings and lifestyle, that's not wealth. That's stress with a mailbox. Step 3, do the break-even test without a spreadsheet. Ask yourself this, if I buy, will I be here long enough for the upfront cost to be worth it? Those costs include closing costs, moving costs, and the, oh wow, we need a ladder, a lawnmower, and why is paint $62 a gallon? If you're likely moving in 18 months because you hate the commute, hate the neighborhood, or your job might change, renting is often smarter. If you're stable for 3 to 5 years and the payment fits your life, buying starts to become the smarter play. This is why people who buy too early sometimes say, buying was a mistake. It wasn't the buying, it was the timeline. Okay, when renting is smarter, yes, really. Your timeline is short, you don't have an emergency fund, buying would stop you from saving, you're still figuring out your location, or your credit debt profile needs work. Renting is not failing, renting is strategy. Here's when buying is smarter. You're staying 3 to 5+ years, the payment fits without squeezing you, you have a buffer, you're tired of rent increases and want more control, and you want the freedom to customize your space. Owning gives stability and control. Just don't buy something that requires a cape and a tool belt on day one. Here's your decision in 60 seconds. Will I stay in the same area for 3 to 5 years? Can I afford the payment and still save? Do I have money for inspection, closing costs, and a basic buffer? And lastly, would buying improve my life or just prove something? If you answered no to saving or buffer, rent longer. There's no shame. That's wisdom. If you answered yes to all of them, buying is worth exploring seriously. Here's a quick to-do list this week so you can actually move forward. Write down your comfort payment and get an all-in payment estimate from a lender, including taxes, insurance, and HOA if there is one. Then build a basic buffer plan. Even $1,500 to $3,000 helps. Then run the timeline test. Under 2 years, rent. 3 to 5 plus, buying is on the table. And finally, compare quality of life. If buying makes you house rich and life poor, don't do it. So here's the takeaway. Renting versus buying in 2026 isn't about pride, and it isn't about throwing money away. It's about timeline and lifestyle math. If you're staying short term and the payment squeezes you, renting is smarter. If you're stable 3 to 5 plus years and the payment fits, buying can be a great move. If you want help figuring out your exact situation, comment your rent payment, the price range you're looking at, and how long you plan to stay. And I'll help you make a decision that makes sense. Don't forget to like and subscribe for calm, clear real estate advice. I'm Chad Hoerner with Haven Real Estate, and this is From Production to Properties, signing off.